Welcome back to the Relius Reviews. Today's review is focused on Amazon original series entitled Reacher. And the official synopsis of Reacher is: Jack Reacher was arrested for murder and now the police need his help, based on the books by Lee Child. And before I give out my review, please like and subscribe and comment and tell me what I should review next. And I would say for the most part, I did like this TV show quite a bit. It was crazy and it was good in many different ways. And just a small disclaimer, I have never read none of the Jack Reacher books. I have only seen the movies that was done by Tom Cruise and everything else. So just a small disclaimer. So here we go. I would say when it comes to the performances for this TV show, I felt like Alan Ritchson as Jack Reacher, he gave out a really good performance. As to me, he was an improvement over Tom Cruise's portrayal as Jack Reacher in many different ways. Like, he was everything that Tom Cruise wasn't. As to me, I felt like Tom Cruise was not, he just didn't look right as Jack Reacher due to the descriptions that I've heard about who this character is. Like Alan Ritchson as Jack Reacher, he was bold, did not give a F, crazy, savage, and he always did what he thought was the best thing to do in any situation. And him, and as well as just the other actors in this TV show, all of them gave out a good performance with their characters. As to me, I felt like all of the characters had like different story arcs, which was important to the huge main story for everything else. But the performances for all of the actors was really good. I would say when it comes to the story for this TV show, the story was really interesting as there was some pretty huge twists and turns with the story, as whenever there was one discovery, something crazy would always happen, such as the witness getting killed or stuff coming up missing, bribery, corruption from local detectives, local sheriffs, and just mayors itself. Like, everyone was crazy in this TV show. Like, you could really trust nobody because either they would either wind up getting killed or they would just wind up being a shady individual who had connections to pretty dangerous people. But Jack Reacher did not let none of those things get the best of him, as he was able to get the job done, but without putting some people on some t-shirts, of course. Like, the story was pretty good to me, in my opinion. The cinematography, for the most part, it was fine to me. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary, how it was shot or how some scenes looked on screen and everything. I think the way that this TV show was shot was fine, as it was just fine. Like, it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It was cool. And I would say maybe the first things that I did not like about this TV show was that I did feel like that some of the dialogue that was done by a few of the actors throughout the entire show, you could say it definitely did comes off as just cheesy in a way, or just like, huh? Or did he just say that? Did she just say that? Like, some of the dialogue for this TV show was a little bit cheesy or questionable at most. And I would say maybe another thing that I did not like about this TV show was probably the main villains of it. Like, once everything was exposed and the main villains, like all of the people that was responsible for everything, honestly, it was a little bit of a letdown because I had my predictions that such and such was involved in everything that was going on. And I was right. But I felt like the villains, for the most part, the main villains for this TV show, and they was just all right to me. But I would say, despite those things, I felt like Reacher as a TV show, it was a pretty interesting TV show. You had good performances, the story being pretty crazy, and just the ending just seeming like it could go anywhere. And if this show were to be renewed for a second season, I wouldn't mind. Like, you can have each season of Jack Reacher being focused on a different book, just like how they did it in the movies. And how I would rate Reacher out of 5 stars. I would give Reacher 4 stars out of 5. So thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.